Okay, a handy little tool that comes with the purchase of the Eagle MicroGen is a signal test light. We often get questions because depending on what frequency you may be running, if it's using a carrier wave or if it's a very high frequency, you may be holding on to your hand cylinders or have electrode patches on, and you may not even be able to feel the current going into your body. And so there's always that question, how do I know that it's working? So we made a little test light that again has the same type of 3.5 plug. And when you plug it in, again, make sure that you've got it plugged into the side that is receiving the current. And then when you turn on your generator, what this is doing when you have it plugged into the transfer box is just making sure that there's no break in any of these cables, and that the power and the frequencies and your treatment is in fact coming from here and into your body. So once you get your generator fired up, you can simply choose any program, and in this case we're running a flu program, and we hit run. And as you can see, there's no light, but as you turn the current up, as you can see, the light begins blinking, and what that indicates is that the power is getting from the generator into the transfer box. And because you can see it pulsing, you know that there's a pulse on that particular program. And what you want to do is make sure that each one of these are working. You just simply move it from one to the other, and you know that this side is being supplied with current. And just to prove the point, there's no power over here, so if you have your hand cylinders, your electrode patches plugged into the wrong side, it's not going to be working. So none of these should be coming on. There's also a question of how do I know that the cord going from here, my electrode patch cord, is receiving power, because these are small cables, and over time they can get worn. They usually get worn right at the connection. And the way to make sure that the cable is in fact receiving power, other than sticking it to your tongue, some people are brave and they do that. If it's a small current, it doesn't hurt you, but you'll notice this plug has two parts of it. It's got the neutral, which is going to be the black, and then the very tip of it, which is divided by a small black insulating washer, is the positive. So when you're testing to see if in fact this cord is working, the power is coming from here through here and down this cord and into your electrode patches, you simply clip the alligator clip, the negative, the black, on the lower part, and then you can either touch it or hook it on to the upper part, and you'll see that the light begins blinking. If you reverse the cords, if you hook the black on the tip, it's not going to work. So you got to make sure when you're testing it, to make sure you're testing it the right way, hook the negative, the black, on the lower part, the red on the top part. And it's always good too, once you have it hooked up, you just kind of wiggle the cords, and ideally you should have it on a constant so that you don't see the blinking. And if it's on constant, then you just wiggle the cords just to make sure that it doesn't go off when you wiggle it a certain way or hold it a certain way. So that's just an indicator. It's a handy little device. We had a lot of clients that would call and say, I can't feel it. How do I know it's working? And so we came up with this little test light, and it comes with the MicroGen frequency generator.